No, it's YouTube. Of course, I can't show the game. Alrighty, y'all. We are live as the 8-6-2 Lightning head into Sunrise to take on the 9-7-1 Panthers. This is the first meeting since the back-to-back games that led to multiple, or at least one suspension, a heavy fine on the Tampa coach, and I believe a fine to the Tampa Bay Lightning themselves. The game one of that doubleheader ended up being an absolute brawl, and Tampa ended up bringing in some guys from down lower for the sole purpose of just causing mayhem, and that is exactly what they did. So again, I'm here for the boxing match that's about to happen. Be very interested to see if any hockey actually takes place from Tampa. Looking at the last five for Tampa. Lost to the Rangers 7-3 at home. Win over Washington 3-2 at home. They kicked our ass out here in Vegas 6-3. Lost to Colorado 3-2. Win in Utah 4-2. So looking 3-2, 3-2-0 out of the last five games. Scoring, averaging about 4. We go over to Florida, take a look at how they've done their last couple of games. You had the win at home against Washington 6-3. You had them beating us in Vegas 3-2. Lost to San Jose in San Jose 3-1. Win against LA 5-2 and a loss to Anaheim 7-3. So they either score a bunch or they get scored on a bunch. Again, everything's going to come down to, at least in my opinion, the power play, because this is about to be absolute mayhem. And Alistair Gray, in case you didn't hear me when I chirped in real quick, I'm not going to show the game on YouTube. Come on. See, Russian goalies, Bobrovsky's way out ahead, 437. I didn't realize Vasilevsky, I guess he is still rather fresh, especially compared to Bob. But this game is going to be game one of a double header. The game is blacked out for you. I can't say them on YouTube. They get mad at me when I do, but there are a few ways on Google that you can find the game. Captain Jack Sparrow is a wrongfully accused man. I suggest you make friends with him. And especially after what ESPN and Disney and all these guys have been doing to just screw over watching sports no matter what. Get good at finding the games elsewhere. But yeah, we are going to be watching this one, and then at 5 o'clock, we're following up with Vegas. GR TV right now. Hey, shout out. That's awesome. Yeah, if you Google a couple of keywords like, NHL's a big one. If the word web happened to be a part of that search, and then I don't know, websites might start making sense, and there's different places. Like I said, if you get creative with your Google search, you'll find what you're looking for. I'm doing about as much as I can to give the hint that I can. But yeah, I wouldn't want to miss this one. It's going to be an all-out brawl. Like I'm expecting gloves dropped right at face-off, and then just all-out war for the rest of the day. So definitely wouldn't want to miss this if you can get a stream popped up. We still got about a minute and a half until they drop the puck. Yeah, I've got no idea where this is gonna go. I will be very surprised if a lot of hockey gets played. However, I have to assume after like the second game of the back to back, the last game for Tampa and Florida for the preseason, that game should have been stopped 6 minutes in. There was no reason that game should have gone on for 60 minutes. And then you saw the suspensions and the fines and all that. So I have to assume the league let them know, like, FAFO, I mean, do what you're going to do, but understand there's something coming. That was a funny shot. Preseason game with 5 Lightning sitting in the box. For Vegas, that's the Lausanne Lounge. I'm going to be very bitter as we're watching the like I said, we're doing a doubleheader today. So we've got Lightning at the Panthers, and then we've got the St. Louis Blues at Vegas. And I'm gonna be as far as I know for Vegas, they have shifted lines, but they've only shifted the first 2 lines, and they haven't changed the defense at all. So Caden Korzak will still be there. Like good old 2 penalty a game Lausanne is gonna be in. It's gonna be a disappointing one on the Vegas side, but like I said, it's a beautifully rainy day out here in Vegas, and it is a great day to watch a hockey game. All right, we're getting ready for puck drop. Let's see how far back we are. It's probably going to be about 25, 30 seconds late on my end, as per usual. Face off, won by Florida, sent into the Tampa zone. Puck across the front of Vasilevsky. Florida's already going in, launching, but the Lightning are coming out the other way. Smack back, delayed offsides, whiff, but Florida gets it tipped ahead to Marchand, who's able to get it in. Back around the Tampa net, up to the high point and out. Lightning going back the other way. Lustrinian's going to get there first for Florida. Swinging around down on the low boards, and it gets clear. Radish heads up to the high boards, dumped in back behind Bobrovsky. Lightning able to maintain, trying to feed out front. They hit the back of the net, and Verhaeghe is able to recover. Forsling heading out of the Florida zone. He'll take the high road as Vegas goes for a change. Reinhart takes a little pop to the face from Radish as they reset in the Tampa zone. And here come the Lightning heading back out. Can't get through neutral, and Florida dumps it back the other way. Verhaeghe at the point. Sends it to the middle. They've got a chance. A shot misses the net wide off the back glass. Back up the high boards. Verhaeghe gets it to Jones. Sends it back around the net, but it is cut off. Lightning able to get clear. Mikkola back at his own blue line. Sets up Jones. Back to Mikkola. And up the ice they go. Jones from the blue line ahead. It gets tipped in. Samoskevich gets down low, takes a hit, trying to play it in the low corner, feeds it up the low wall, and it misses everybody. Bobrovsky has to settle it all the way back down in the Florida zone. Back through neutral. Florida just, neither side is transitioning through neutral very well. They're having their opportunities to get deep. Nobody's able to set back out front once they're behind the net. That's been good defensive sticks on both sides. 2 1/4 gone as Bobrovsky fights a shot from the point off with his blocker. Tampa heading down the low boards. Shot on net. Bobrovsky stops it. It's swatted away. And we're going to have our first penalty and our first get together. Is that Duran? Can't read that name. Okay, Tampa's already got a couple of guys I'm not recognizing. That could be just because I haven't watched much of Tampa, but I feel like there's a little bit of who are these guys coming up? Let's see. Borkstrand, Gergensen, Gordon, Suburban. Okay. They might have a guy or two in here that they normally wouldn't. Face off in neutral, dumped in by Tampa on Bobrovsky. He'll set it to the high corner. Florida resetting behind him. And they will head out up the high wall to the red line, swung in. Greer heads down low, and he loses the foot race. Puck comes all the way back out. Couple names I don't see. Petrie. Okay. Couple names I don't remember from Florida. It's been a while. Well, Florida kicked our ass recently. I can't believe we only lost by one to them. Oh. All right, little buffer in here. Florida hits the deck. Radish takes it back the other way and dumps it deep, trying to feed it out front. And a good stick by Lundell. Puck up to Marchand. He has Lundell on his right. He'll take the shot, and Vasilevsky covers it up. Just over 3 minutes gone in the first period. Shots are sitting at 2-1. Tampa. And that is the first big chance we've had from either side. Again, a couple opportunities to get the puck down low, get it down behind the net. But on both sides, they are cutting off the pass back out front. Okay, McDonough, James, Hagel, Hedman, Sorelli, and Holmberg are all out. That explains why I don't recognize a couple of the guys that are playing for Tampa. Puck down the low boards, back into the Florida zone, racing in. He gets back behind and sends it to the high point. Back behind the net. Oh, I can't remember. Is that Reinhart? Yeah, Reinhart got there first. He's able to settle the puck for Florida. And now Forsling works it back out through neutral from the red line and in. Verhaeghe gets down behind Vasilevsky. Not able to get it out front. The follow-up, though, is a turnover. And the puck's going to head back the other way. Gord with a good defensive stick. Puck in the low corner of the Florida zone. Ekblad gets back and he's able to recover. Florida heads right back the other way. Lusterinen dumps it in. Vasilevsky settles it behind his own net. In the high corner, Tampa's able to clear it back the other way. Jones putting up good pressure for Florida. Puck turns over, but into the Florida zone. Marchand settling it. He works it down to Mikkola. Goes right into neutral to the red line and in. Vasilevsky will settle it again. And the Lightning get it clear. Not very far. Good play. Marchand just past the blue line. Gets jumped as he enters the zone. And the puck's able to come free. Tampa sets it back to neutral. Mikkola trying to set it back the other way. And here goes Marchand in. But he gets cut off. Good defensive play from, I'm going to guess it's Crozier. Guy is on one. He is quick. Haven't seen him hit top speed yet, but his 0 to 60 is nasty. And he's getting physical without having to hit anybody, which is it's kind of what you want. Like, people see him coming, and he ends up splitting right between the puck and the guy that's bracing for impact. Oh, big hit down low from Florida. Couldn't see the number, but somebody just got demolished. Boquist fighting for the puck below Vasilevsky. And it comes in hard. Little bit of a whiff on the hit, but the effort was there to the high point. Thrown down low, looking for the tip. Boquist goes off of Vasilevsky's right pad. And the Lightning head back the other way from neutral. They dump and chase. Back behind Bob. Ekblad gets there first. Takes a little bump from Gergensen, but moves it all the way up and out. Forsling able to get into the Tampa zone. Little Three Stooges moment. Tripping over the blue line. Forsling ends up getting dumped. So Boren going hard at, who is that, Greer? Well after the puck's gone. This is going to get very feisty very quick. I'm surprised we've made it as far as we have without it getting a little bit more nasty. Saborin feeds it to the center. Is that the Stouse? I can't pronounce that. The Lightning control from behind Vasilevsky. Crozier resets. Goes high corner, and they are out. Lightning trying to go across the ice. Interesting pass right there as Rodriguez resets for Florida. To the red line and in, the Panthers go. Vasilevsky again slowing the puck down behind the net. Crozier throws it out all the way down, picked off by Jones, just pushes Gensel over. Gensel going for a trip, not able to take Jones down. It looked like he was leg sweeping there to me, at least. And now Verhaeghe chasing in the pass. Everybody hitting the ice as the Lightning come back the other way. 2-on-2 as they enter the zone. I don't know what he was trying to do. Tampa seems to be seeing figments of their imagination in different positions or they have bad depth perception because that's like the third pass where the pass makes sense, but their teammate is 30 feet off. You can see what the idea is, but like, the fuck are we doing here? 12:20 to go in the first. Shots are 4-2 Florida as the Lightning try to control through neutral. Sent back the other way. Marchand loses it. Gordon able to take it to the wall. Bjorkstrand sends it back around to Gordon up to the high point for Tampa in the Florida zone. Shot goes well wide of the net all the way back around. Marchand's going to try and chase it out. Tampa keeps it in. Puck off the backboards. Lundell gets there first, leaves it for Lustrinin, trying to send it around the back of Bobrovsky. Ekblad loses it on the wall. And then Tampa does right back to Lustrinin. That was an interesting pass decision from Kucherov there. 8.5 gone in the first period. What's up? How you doing, Daniel? Happy Saturday. Bennett works his way up and out. Who has that? I can't see a number. That's Sam Iskevich just getting deep into the Tampa zone, trying to feed it out front to Bennett. But Boquist couldn't get it through the Tampa sticks. Jones resets it back for Mikla, but we got a group. Kucherov's down on the ice. I didn't see what happened. We got a couple of guys wrapped up across the ice. The play was stopped, so I have to assume a penalty was cut or is coming, but I did not see what the penalty was. Let's see if they have it. Elbowing. Where's Kucherov? Where is he? Oh, he's down low. All right, I'm getting buffering. We're going to have to reset and try again. These feeds, bro, I tell you. Hopefully they take another look at it when we come back from commercial. I could kind of see it down low, but the call is Sam Bennett, 2-minute minor for elbowing Kucherov. So those names with that penalty equals, yeah, more than likely he elbowed the living shit out of him. But we'll see in a minute as we come back, as we sit. Shots of 4-2 Florida. They've only counted, they apparently Tampa is 2 for 4 on the faceoff and Florida is 1 for 4 on the faceoff. Makes sense. Let's see. The hits are 7-5. Tampa, no block shots either way, but the Lightning already have 6 giveaways. Like, oof. That's what's going to lead. you got 2 shots and 6 giveaways, you cannot keep up that pace. But as of right now, Florida has drawn first blood. Let's see. Good hip check there. Okay, so the first hit was clean, I guess, and then Kucherov. All right, they didn't show a good angle. You got a penalty for elbowing, but they showed Kucherov's back, so you couldn't even see where the contact was made. Quick shot off the faceoff by Tampa, stopped by Bobrovsky. Lightning are going to recover, skate the blue line. Down low to Kucherov on the low dot, across in front, a great stop. Bobrovsky right up close against Getzel. There's a reason he's got 2 Stanleys. My man is a brick wall when he wants to be. He has plenty of faults, but man, he is good when he is good. Those were 2 great saves, especially sliding back across the crease. Meanwhile, Tampa almost loses it. High dot all the way across. Low dot back to the middle, back to the dot. They're too much passing, fellas. Shoot the damn puck. Pass out towards the low dot. Shot goes off the stick up into the back wall. Under 60 seconds left in the penalty. Tampa leaving it up to the midpoint. Down to Kucherov, who cycles up high. Pass, shot. Hits something way out high to the low boards. And Kucherov sends it out to the center. Back to Kucherov. Another good stick there by Forsling. But Tampa controlling all the time in the zone. Back up to the low boards. Kucherov just above the low dot. Feeds it out high. Top of the low circle. Stopped by Bobrovsky. Puck makes its way to Lundell, but he cannot get enough on it to get it clear. 20 seconds left on the power play. Tampa cycling at the high point, trying to get it down low. Goes right into the skates of Ekblad, and he gets it clear. And now Ekblad and Bjorkstrand were like, they got into it at the bench. Ekblad made a great play, got the puck by, and Bjorkstrand just went nuts. We are back to full strength hockey with 9:02 to go in the first period. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, this is what we were coming here for. It's going to start getting real chippy real quick. Let me check some think Miami. Yep. Miami against NC State. They disappointed me. But I still got to be been a Hurricanes fan too long. I'm used to the disappointment. At least they're still ranked at this point. So 24-0 over NC State, exactly as it should be. Take a quick look at the college. I know we got Alabama and Oklahoma. Oklahoma up 17-14 on Alabama. We'll see how that goes because that doesn't tend to stay like that for very long. Let's see. Got that. Halftime. Virginia whooping Duke. Iowa up on USC. Texas Tech whooping up on UCF. Figures. Georgia Tech and Boston College tied. Oklahoma. We just did that one. Tennessee beat New Mexico State 21-0. Everybody knows. Expected that. Florida and Ole Miss later. And Utah, Baylor, Texas, Georgia. There's the game of the night. I knew one was coming. 4:30, Texas at Georgia. That should actually be a fun football game to watch. But depending on the start of the games here, we got one game starting at 3. So it might be live for intermission rather than taking a break. That's the Ducks in the Wild in Minnesota. So we're either going to watch that or we're going to check in on Miami and NC State. Face off to the right of Vasilevsky. Tampa coming away with it. Up the low boards, across the blue line, towards the net, right pad save, Vasilevsky. Big hit down low. That's going to draw some ire. Gord loses the puck as Boquist takes it away. Trying to work it up to Samoskevich, can't connect. Bobrovsky from behind his own net sets it. I don't know who number 6 is for the Panthers, but I like this kid. Sabrongo? We're going to go with that. Boquist sends it around the boards all the way up to the point that came out, delayed offsides. And they're going to blow the whistle. 8:19 to go in the first. Shots are 5-4 Tampa. Yeah, this kid, Sabrango. I don't know how to pronounce it, but man, he just destroyed somebody on the low boards. So far, Florida has been the team to take first blood. They've had a couple of good hits. That kid, number 6 for Florida, has had a couple of really good hits. Ekblad's had a couple of hits. You got the little back and forth between Kucherov and Bennett, but Bennett's been flying around like a maniac. Like he just wants to hit somebody. Verhaeghe able to get it deep, takes a little shot from Lilleberg as he does so. Kucherov back to Lilleberg, and he gets clear. A little too far ahead as the puck ends up behind Bobrovsky, trying to work it out front. All the way high, shot swallowed up by Bobrovsky. 7:52 to go in the first. Point just skated out from behind the goal up the high baseline. Actually went up the low baseline, just looking for a place to go. Found his way out to the top of the circles. And one thing both of these teams are good at doing is that, 10 feet out from the crease, this is my home. You don't get to stay in my home. So it's very difficult to get quality shots 5-on-5 from right on top of the crease. So you end up going high or going wide. Icing on Florida will bring the face-off back down in front of Bobrovsky. I'll say again, if you want exciting, good hockey, this is a 50-50 game. If you want physical, at each other's throat hockey, welcome. Face off to the left of Bob. Kucherov comes away with it to the high dot. He shoots and he scores. Who is that? Lilleberg. Carries one past Bob from the top of the dot. Face off one. Kucherov sets up Lilleberg. Reinhardt's a little late to cover, so he doesn't get the block, and Bobrovsky gets beat in the place that is hard to beat, or hard for goalies to stop a puck. You go right over their shoulder. I'm working on it. But you go up high, especially if if you can bait him to have his knees low and just get him ready to drop and then sky it on him, especially right past the ears where you got to make that awkward stretch. That was a beautiful shot. Scoring for the Tampa Bay Lightning, Emil Lilleberg, assisted by Kucherov. See. Meanwhile, Samoskevich with Boquist for help. Get the puck deep and then go for a change. 7 minutes to go in the first. Shots are 7-4 Tampa. Is this one? Oh, the buffer continues. Hang on. Lustranaden takes it back the other way into the Tampa zone behind Vasilevsky, Lilleberg against Lundell. Why? Why are we buffering? Ooh, a good hit down low. A little cross check to follow up. A quick shot on Bobrovsky. And it was fought off. Oh, here we go. Oh, yeah. We're getting there. We're having a little bit of a slow build. But second period, we're going to be a little lively. What a great pass to get right up the gut. Bobrovsky makes a big save. Okay, so that was on Finley as Tampa entered the zone. And then that was bullshit. He deserved to get no. The whistle was blown. Saborin turns around and flings the puck at the net. He's lucky he didn't get a dropped glove to the nose right away. You don't do that, but Tampa does. The preseason killed any respect I had for the Tampa Bay Lightning. From the middle, Bobrovsky is gonna cover up as Jones and Kucherov were fighting over the loose puck. 6 minutes on the dot to go in the first. Wait. I have. I think I got one of these left. I do. Cool. Face off to the right of Bobrovsky. Panthers win it momentarily. Jones trying to set it up to go off the high wall. Verhaeghe just went down. I'm kind of curious as to see what happened there. Back into the Florida zone. Fought off the stick of Kucherov. Radish down low for Tampa. Sends it right back in. Battle of the blue line right now. Kucherov taking a little swing at Verhaeghe. Doesn't go too well for him. Jones taking a bump as he hits the red line and dumps it in. To the low corner, Rodriguez taking it all the way to the boards. Puck comes loose and Kucherov sends it to the high point. Jones keeps it in. Reinhart down low, fighting Radish for it. Puck comes away to Verhaeghe. Can he stay with it against the 2-on-1? He does. Goes through the skates of Reinhart. Bennett works it up to the low wall, and it is sent out over the head of Mikkola. 5 minutes to go in the first. Shots at 10-4 Tampa. Florida able to get the puck in the zone, just not able to do anything with it. They're not developing any opportunities. Puck picked off in neutral, and Gord heads back into his own zone. Cernak takes it off the low boards from the red line and in, all the way around to the high corner. Well, the two just pelted his homeboy in the chest with the puck. What the hell was that decision? Was that Gord making a pass to Gergensons? Like, it looked like he went to go off the glass and didn't realize Gergensons was there, so he just pelted the shit out of his boy right in the gut. And it was funny because Gergensons got hit, and he was like, what the fuck did you do that for? Down low in the Florida zone. Battling towards the net. The puck goes wide off the tip of Pelletier. Working up to the low point. Crozier back to Pelletier. Across the blue line. Shot from the high point. Hits bodies out front. That'll go up and out of play with 3:41 to go in the first. It is a game, gentlemen. All right, let me check on Miami score real quick. See if they're back from halftime. And they are. Cool. So, yeah, during intermission, we're probably going to hang out and watch some college football while we wait for us to get back and for what's the game? Anaheim and Minnesota to get started up. Well, what are we seeing so far? A little. I'm surprised by Tampa. They had to have been warned, and that's the only thing I can say. Both teams had to have been warned because Tampa should be like beyond pissed off right now, and they're not. It's not that they're not acting like it, but they don't look pissed off to me. You know what I mean? I'd expect a lot more aggression. Now, you don't want them fighting. You don't want them doing the cheap shit that they were doing preseason, all that stuff. That's not what I'm saying. But, like the hit from Kucherov on Bennett, that was a good hip check. You would expect a lot more of those coming. You would, oh, that's right. They had like Sorelli and Hagel. They do have a couple of guys out, so that does hurt them. But Saborin's trying. He's more an annoying shit than an effective, um, Jimmy Rustler. All right. We're getting back to Buck Drop here. Again, we are a little bit behind if you are able to watch it in real time. That tends to be about 20 to 30 seconds back. Let's see, 338. We may even be a little bit better off than that. Anyway, Florida coming out of the zone. Verhage across the red line, going up the low boards against Crozier. Takes him into the corner, and now Rodriguez into help, but Tampa will come away with it. Gergensons loses it back the other way. Crozier's got to make another big play. Reinhardt just being a nuisance to Gergensons. But Tampa finally gets out, and they're going to send right back into their own territory. 3 minutes to go in the first period. So far, only one penalty, which, really? But power play in favor of Tampa. They dominated the zone, but could not beat Bobrovsky. Coming out of it not too long after 5-on-5 is where they were able to win the face-off, go point to point, and bury one past Bob. Now, puck in the high corner, Saborin trying to get it down low. It eventually does. Trying to feed it back out to the center, but Lundell's able to get a stick in. Marchand, Lundell, Lusterinen headed down past the Lusterinen, gets cut off. Lundell recovers. Trying to feed it out front. Mikkola up high, gets it back to Lundell on the low dot, and save Vasilevsky on the shot from Lundell. Great job on the effort of Lundell. Good read by Mikkola to wait, patience, then make the pass back. However, Vasilevsky was reading that shot all day. He gets up off his, up tall on his knees to get his shoulder up into the corner. Ooh, a quick face-off win. Simasevich sends towards the net, kicked away by Vasilevsky. Loose puck in the middle. Bennett comes away with it. He almost had a fantastic play trying to work it back down and around the high boards. Kept in by Boquist. A little bump by Ekblad helps assist it, but puck makes its way out. Point able to get across the blue line, and he sets it back. Bennett right on dude's ass. Passing decisions have been questionable at times with the Lightning. Bobrovsky trying to make a feed, throws it into traffic and almost bites him in the ass. Florida able to go all the way down. Crozier's going to reset, and we got about 75 seconds to go in the period. Reinhardt steals the puck away. He has been active as hell in this game, or in this period. Coming down low. Ooh. An offsides call. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. I figured there had to be a penalty. All right. Marchand, 102nd player to reach 1,000 points, most goals through 16 games in career. He has 11. Yeah, he's had 10 twice. Last 9 players on all-time list. I don't even know what that's supposed to fucking mean. I guess just point-wise. Or goals. They didn't really make that clear. But I respect everything about Marchand's game. I have not a lot, and off the ice, don't know him. Probably a fine dude. Do not like the guy. Once you start licking guys, dude, we got a couple. We got to have some things going on behind the scenes. Guys are starting to fly around, and hit the shit out of each other. We got 30 seconds. Get ready for a riot at the end of this. 25 seconds. Tampa across neutral into the Florida zone. On Bobrovsky, kick to the high board, comes back around. Radish on the low point. Puck down low, 15 seconds. Back up to the low point. Radish sends it off a stick, goes into the high corner, back behind the net. Here comes a hit. Oh, yeah. Saw that coming a mile away. Who was that? My cheat sheet went away. And now here we go. There's the riot. I told you. I told you. I got to see who made that hit, though. 1 sec. I want to say it was 71. So Goncalves got hit. Kunin. I always forget about Kunin when it comes to Florida. But it's getting spicy. So we got a little bit of time. Let's check in on my Miami Hurricanes. Of course, we come in on a commercial. But so far, so good in this one. It's at least been entertaining, if nothing else. Like I said, I love games like this. I want them to be as clean as possible, understanding that shit like that's gonna like it's not gonna be great. With Tampa and Florida, you can expect a little dirt, but hang on, sorry, I brought up the football game and my mind froze trying to watch this guy outline with spray paint, and it is just horrendous. Like an effort was made, I guess. But no, I like these kind of games as long as Vegas is not involved in them in any way. Because someone's going to end up getting hurt. And like I said, I'd rather have it be clean, but these teams aren't going to keep it that way for very long. Hits are 12-11 in favor of Florida. Giveaways are 8-5. Punishing, though, actually not punishing Tampa because Florida has done nothing with those takeaways. So we still got about 20 minutes before Anaheim and the Wild start. So we'll probably check in. Well, actually, we may not be able to check in on them during intermission just because they're going to start up right as we go into second period. Dude, forget all the other bullshit about Miami. Just look at Bain Jr. and I can never say this other guy's name, but their defensive linemen for Miami, they are machines. So it's unfortunate we can't figure out an offense because I mean, we just can't figure out a quarterback that doesn't want to throw interceptions. If we could get that piece put together, we'd be all right. All right, we got an injury. So that's the one thing about football versus watching hockey, man. It is just so slow. I try and watch, but man, it gets brutal sometimes. But Miami's up 31 nothing. Guys down on the field. Not a whole lot to watch there. What's going on with Alabama, Oklahoma? I'm looking for it. Alabama, Oklahoma. Here we go. I want to watch this for the. I don't know if anybody knows Geeks and Gamers and D-Day Cobra and them, but I just want Alabama to lose so I can talk shit. They've been too good for too long. It's time you guys sit down. Oh, great run to the outside. Not quite fast enough to break free, but ran hard down off the tackle, bounced it wide, and just went. Oh, yeah, they overloaded the weak side of the field. Or, sorry, the short side of the field. So they're like, all right, buddy, you got a mile to run free. Go have fun. First and 10 from the Oklahoma 47. Another run off the left tackle. They swallowed that one up very quickly. I know this is the game, and what is it? Texas and Georgia. Texas at Georgia. That's going to be the other big one for tonight. That one, I think that one starts up at 4:30. So as we're wrapping up with Tampa, Florida, getting ready to start Vegas and St. Louis. Which reminder, 5 o'clock, doubleheader tonight. Alabama again from the 47 of Oklahoma, 2nd and 10 from the shotgun. Swing pass. Great hurdle to avoid the tackle. Gets the first and drops his shoulder rather than go out of bounds. I remember when football players used to be football players. But that's the DB. The tight end's a big dude. And hey, shout out to the. I'm going to guess that was a safety that came in and made the tackle. But the DB that went out to the edge to try and take him down the first time, he tried to go low, put his head down, went for his knees, and let the guy get 15 yards. Shotgun going for it. And a great pass and a great catch gets Alabama down to like the 2. Now, Oklahoma's up 20-14, 8:21 to go in the third. First and goal from the 2-yard line. Out of the shotgun with an up back handoff. And are they going to give it to him or are they going to say he was down? I'm guessing they're calling it short. I'll say I'm pretty sure his knee hit before he fell over the line. Yeah, his knee's down before he falls over. It's all. What's that mean? Give it another 45 seconds and they score. They're going to go out of the shotgun. He's just going to run it. Yep, there it goes. Little bit of trickery. I don't know if I'm going to guess that's the running back in on the, as the shotgun quarterback, have the quarterback out to the wing. All right, 2020. Go back over to Miami for a minute. They're gonna take some time to kick the ball back out to Oklahoma. All right, we did our job on defense. Man, that's still so disappointed. Against the Louisville game pissed me off. Our performance was shit, but to call off Malachi Tony had all the entire field. He had a parting sea to run straight to the end zone, and they call him on a kick catch interference because he caught his hand never went above his waist. Ridiculous. They're gonna run it, and dude, it's just gonna go right up the gut for 12 yards. I don't know why Carson Beck's still in the game. I don't like it. No business to have your starting quarterback still in the game up 31-0. Maybe as we go to the fourth quarter, or maybe if we score one more time. From the Miami 25. Out of the shotgun with the up back, another handoff, pulling guard, pulling tackle, and they are going to create a wide open space for him to run from the 25 to the 47. The guard and the tackle pull, and you can just see the. Oh no! So the left guard and the right tackle pulled, and they just parted the sea. Now, granted, again, it's North Carolina State, so this is exactly what should happen, but it's still nice to see Miami doing things the way they should be doing things. And this running back, Pringle Jr., I don't really recognize him. I remember Brown, and I can't remember the other cat, but dude, we have all the pieces. We have a great offensive line. We have great running backs, great receivers. We have a great defense, but turnovers. Beck throwing bad decision interceptions and shit like that. In North Carolina State territory, they get the first. It looks like Miami's just going to go right on down the field. See, they still have Beck in, but they're cycling in different receivers, different running backs. Got about 5.5 on the intermission till we're back for Tampa and Florida. See, we got 6:40 to go in the third on this one. 1st and 10, Miami from the NC State 41. Beck's going to pass it. Oh, he's going to run for it. He picks up a yard. Pocket collapsed on him on that one. All right. Go back over to Alabama. As soon as I find it. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. How is that not the top? It's got to be alphabetical or something. I just wasn't paying attention or start time. I shouldn't have to go and find Alabama and Oklahoma, but here we are. We got 7:27 to go in the third on this one. Ooh, 1st and 10 for Oklahoma from the Oklahoma 25. Out of the shotgun with an upback. Nope, play action. That's gets swatted down by a monster of a defensive end. You can tell the alpha of the group because he eats first. And that motherfucker eats. Second and 10. We're going to throw it again. Great pass, wide open up the middle of the field. Dude, I got to think as a receiver, even when it opens up and there's nobody for 10 yards in any direction, that's still got to be horrifying to try and catch a ball across the middle. Little sidearm pass. He's able to make the connection. 7-yard gain for Oklahoma. All right, 2nd and 3 in Alabama territory for Oklahoma. They're going to run it off tackle. They get a yard. All right, 2 minutes left before we're back to hockey. Again, this pacing just absolutely kills me. Too much time between action. All right, here we go. 3rd and 2. Little flip. They're going to be a holding penalty, but it's not going to matter as they lose 5 on the toss. Nope, illegal formation on Oklahoma. I'm going to stand up real quick and stretch my back. Hit the head real quick, and then we're going to come back for the hockey game. So I'll see you guys in a couple minutes. So nice and quick. Let's get back over to the hockey game. It's the wrong one. That would be it. And should be just about ready to go for the second period. First face off won by Tampa. However, Florida, Lusternin fighting for it, gets it back to Vasilevsky. Up to Gergensen's on the low board, and it ends up going back the other way. Battle for it. Florida comes away. Ekblad towards the net. Marchand reaching for a tip, sends it to the high boards. Kucherov making some cuts from a hard angle, puts it on net, fought off by Bobrovsky. Buck to the high corner, back down to the low boards. Lundell recovers, sets it up for Forsling, who, I thought he cleared it. Went right to Lusternin. Lusternin will make the zone and immediately lose it. Tampa sends it the other way, and that'll be an icing. Shots are 10-6 Tampa. And on paper, everything is in favor. On paper, everything's in favor of the Lightning. Florida is going to have to come up with something to start getting some purposeful shots on net from closer than the blue line, too. Face off to the left of Vasilevsky. Won by Florida. Verhaeghe sets it for Jones. Jones trying to give it back. He ends up losing it. Verhaeghe has to chase it all the way back into Florida territory. Pass back up to Jones. Tipped enough for Reinhart to send it deep. Vasilevsky slows it down. Goes up the low boards. Reinhart cutting it off. Verhaeghe recovers. Trying to get it out front to Rodriguez, but he can't. Chased into the low corner. Puck comes back out to Gergensen. Reinhart again, just kicking Gergensen's ass all day. Good recovery. Rodriguez gets the puck to Jones. However, it is turned over. That was close to offsides if it wasn't. Puck in the low boards of the Florida zone. Tampa just wants it more right now. Jones recovers the puck at the top of the crease, sends it all the way back down for an icing. I got to see some of these names real quick. Gensel. For some reason, Gensel just doesn't stick in my mind. And then Kachuk. Not Kachuk, Kachuk. Face off to the left of Bob. Rodriguez on the dot. Another shot from the high point goes on Bob, and he'll swallow it up. Less than 2 minutes gone in the second period, and we've already had 398 faceoffs. Bum, 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 bum. We will reset. Point on the dot against, I can't see the number, but point wins. Another shot from Tampa fought off by Bobrovsky. Rebound comes back to the high point. Good stick by Boquist. Slows the puck down and sends it back the other way. Florida able to recover. Little battle going in the high corner of the Tampa zone. Puck gets away from Crozier. Stamashevich trying to get a hit on him, separating the puck, though, and it's all the way back down to Forsling in the Florida zone. And right back out the other way. Tipped in. Vasilevsky sets it off for Lilleberg. Pass makes its way to Gensel. and into the zone. Back behind Bob Rofsky. Ekblad recovers, sets it up for Bennett, who makes his way clear into Tampa territory. Bennett shoots, save Vasilevsky to the high corner. Samoskevich going up the high boards. You got a big old battle. Greer and Daustas, so however the hell you pronounce it, are just flat out going at it. Daustas ended up jumping Greer. That's got to be a penalty, and it absolutely is. Greer might have buckled a little extra when he got hit, but that couldn't have felt good. It was a matter of time before somebody had enough of the other's bullshit and attacked, and that's what we got. 3 minutes into the second period, we finally get a call between these two and an obvious cross check right to the right forearm, right below the elbow. Dust ass. I don't know. I have no idea how to pronounce that name, and I do not care to try. Here we go. Face off to the right of Vasilevsky. Man advantage for the Cats. Face off won by the Panthers. Jones sends it down around behind the net. Marchand there first tries to set up Lundell, who looked like he got tripped. Either way, he goes down. Gord loses it as him and Gergensen could have had a 2-on-1 against Jones the other way. Jones setting up Marchand. Sue Reinhardt and in Vasilevsky slows it down. Leaves it behind the net, and Florida comes away the victor on the high board, setting it back the other way. Lundell did not cross the blue line quick enough. It's back into neutral. Lundell re-enters, leaves it for Marchand across to Reinhardt on the low point. Back to Marchand. Reinhardt working their way down towards the baseline. Reinhardt inches his way to the goal, goes behind, feeds it back to the top of the high circle to Jones on the point. Marchand on the low dot. He shoots right into the crest of Vasilevsky, and then we get more bullshit afterwards, as that was another cross check after the whistle that definitely could have been something. I mean, he put that dead center of the lightning bolt on Vasilevsky's chest. I'm not sure. Not sure about that one. Kachuk and Rodriguez on the dot. Rodriguez wins it. Ekblad to Bennett. Bennett loses it, and Getzel's going to take it down and dump it in. Taking a little shot from Ekblad, but still going hard. He causes the turnover, and Florida is able to get reset. Bennett into the zone to the high boards. Rodriguez sends it all the way around. Rodriguez catches it at the low point. Lusternin into the middle for Bennett, and a good Tampa stick breaks up that pass. All the way across again, it ends up out of the zone. 25 seconds to go on the Florida power play. Puck on the low boards. Samoskevich down trying to help out. He gets put on his face trying to help out. Ekblad down to Bennett, tries to go across the ice, and a good stick by Crozier sends the puck up and out of play. Just over 5 minutes. Just under 5 minutes gone in the second period. 10 seconds left on the man advantage for the Cats. Shots are 12-8 Tampa. Trying to feed it right out front. Lundell swinging at it. Looked like Reinhardt just got popped in the face. Let's see. You see him swinging around down low. Puck comes in. Oh, yeah. Absolutely a high stick on Cernak that does not get called. Face off to the left of Vasilevsky. And Chernak's going to come away with it behind the net. It gets clear. And we are back to 5-on-5. One opportunity with the man advantage for each side. Neither one of them coming away with the goal from it. Through neutral, Forsling tries to reset Florida back the other way. Gord fighting a loose stick. Forsling goes down because of it. Battle in the high corner. Turn in a quick shot. Hits a stick out front. And that'll go up and out of play. Hang on a sec. Who is that? Soberin, Douglas. Okay. Ooh. Face off to the left of Bobrovsky. Florida comes away with it. Greer gets across the blue line, but some blew it dead. Dude, so many stoppages. Let's go. So far, little over 3.5 minutes into the first period in Minnesota. Ducks and the Wild are 0-0. However, the Wild are just starting a power play. Walk around the back of the Tampa net. The ice is starting to turn into Florida ice. Pity. Everybody's going down everywhere, working around. Bobrovsky trying to go high. It comes back down low. Petrie. Who's that? Schwint. All right, let's see. Tampa through neutral. Kucherov leaves it back for point on a hard angle shot. Bobrovsky makes the save. Marchand trying to recover in his own zone. Gets beat by Gensel. Fed up front. And a good job, Ekblad, to get in the front of the Kucherov shot. Another good stick by Lustrinin and sets up a pass down low. Marchand trying to beat it down the ice. But Lightning recover. Point across the red line. He'll toss it in and go for a change. Bob tries to settle it. Ekblad gets there first, and the pass is worked up ahead. That Boquist dumps it in. Vasilevsky to play it off the low boards. And the Lightning head back the other way. Big shot coming from up the middle. Good stick by Mikula to break it up, but the attempt still comes from Radish. Good little moves to get an attempt on net. And as Bobrovsky tries to knock it away, it goes up and into the net. 12:36 to go in the second as we go to a commercial break. Peek our nose into Anaheim, Minnesota real quick. 30 seconds left to go on the Minnesota power play. Just over 5 gone. Shot for Minnesota. Middle of the point goes wide of the Anaheim net, and the Ducks get it cleared back. Resetting with 10 seconds to go on the power play. Ducks putting on good pressure to slow them down out of their own zone, meeting them at the blue line, setting up. They got a chance all the way across, and they cannot connect. Might have gotten a good stick on it, but good. Just a great opportunity goes by the wayside. Dude, Anaheim just looks so good. They're so aggressive right now, which they should be, and they need to be all year. They just have to stay aggressive. They made it out of the penalty kill. See, Anaheim what Anaheim's been doing this year that I've noticed is they swarm the puck so well. Like, if you think a play's developing, and then all of a sudden one white shirt or one orange shirt turns into three, and they just, like I said, you look, you see your lane, you catch the pass, and then it's shut. And they've done a great job of that so far. Do the CFB check real quick. Still 21-20 Alabama. And 34-0 Miami over NC State. Tired. Face off to the left, Bob. Tampa kicked out. Get my cheat sheet back up. Oh, a good opportunity. Was that Radish crashing in, but puck comes off his stick at the last minute. Sam Miskevich able to get clear. Oh, Bennett and Mosier look like they're going to fight, but it looks like Mosier doesn't want to drop the gloves against Bennett. Oh, a big hit from Radish. Reverse hit from Radish onto Sam Miskevich. Pelletier leads it back all the way up. Pass misses everybody. Petrie for Florida swings it up to the middle of the ice. Greer in. There's that Boquist. Oh, Greer. Back to the point. Another shot towards the net. Hits a body out high. Kunin ended up getting in the way of the shot. All the way back. Bobrovsky sets up for the clear, and it is all the way down. No icing on a slow roller. Now Gord and Greer getting into it, and now Gord and Kunin are really trying to get into it. Kunin's got Greer's or Gord's ear loop, and he just pulled Gord's helmet off, so now Greer's got to be going to the box for two. I want to see this from the beginning because Gord looked like he did everything not to fight, dude. Yeah, you see Bennett and Mosier. There's a big hit by Mikkola. And Bennett and Mosier go at it. Bennett grabs the sweater, but they let that go. And then Greer gets a little bit of a stick up on Gord. Gord's talking the whole way back. Finally shoves him. And now when Kunin comes in, Gord's like, no. No, I was, me and him, dude. I was. Kunin came in and Gord went from, you want to go, bitch, to no. My problem was with him. I think Tombstone was like, no, my problem's not with you. Yeah, like, oh shit. Yeah, okay. I guess we're doing this then, huh? And he just didn't fight. Didn't fight, still goes to the box. Yeah, I am not a fan of John Cooper at all. Like, again, had respect for him, had respect for Tampa, even though I wasn't the biggest fan. And then the stuff they pulled in preseason was like, y'all are trash cans on skates. Fuck you guys, including Maurice, or not Maurice, Cooper. Maurice is my dude. Like, uh, big fan of Maurice, not of Cooper. All right, 4-on-4 for another minute 40. 9 minutes gone in the second period. Florida working their way out. Pass up to Jones. Tries to go across the blue line. That was a dumbass, weak pass. Weak decision. Point breaking in. Tries to go backhand over Bobrovsky, and he goes above the net. Reinhardt just turned it right back over the point. Good defensive play by Jones to get back. What the hell was that pass? Another shot coming from Kucherov, and there's a glove save for Bobrovsky. What a dumbass pass. I mean, it was bad enough they let point come in, but then just a terrible decision to float that puck into the middle of the ice. Like I said, Jones came back heavy and forced him around the outside of the net. You can barely hear me. I guess I appreciate that. Let me see. Let's adjust some levels real quick. Try and turn it up a bit. I appreciate that. Oh, I just lost the stream. Yeah, thank you for letting me know. How's that? I always forget about having to get a little bit closer. In fact, I wonder if something's actually going on because, yeah, you're the first one to mention that. But no, hey, thank you. All right, let me get this back up real quick, get some volume going. Hope you're having a good Saturday. Ball down into the low corner. Ekblad fighting for it with Gensel. Gensel sends it up to the high point. Radish across the blue line. Mosier trying to get down the low boards, and it's cut off by Forsling. Sent back behind Bobrovsky, and Lundell will work his way out as we go back to 5-on-5 hockey. Lundell up ahead. Samoskevich just misses the pass completely. Puck coming back down the low boards. Mikulik picking it off at the red line. Samoskevich getting stopped in his track by Mosier, who turns it over to Bennett, who turns it over to Borkstrand. Holy cow, a whole lot of chaos happening in neutral. Puck coming back the other way. Gensel in, forced backwards. Bennett striking the backhand from the top of the low circle. Goes back the other way. Mikula forced into the corner. Samoskevich comes away, gets a pass to Jones from the middle of the point. Sent off to the back glass. Jones trying to go back low behind the net. Delayed penalty on Tampa finally. The play is called dead. 8:34 to go in the second period. And we are getting our second opportunity to see the man advantage for Florida. Now, it wasn't looking good. Tampa special teams is looking a lot more special than Florida is. But we'll see if they learn something and can come back a little more aggressively, get some meaningful shots on net. Like, that is the key to what needs to be said. Meaningful shots on net. You can get little flutters to the pads, but that doesn't mean anything. And if you look, the shots are 14-8 in favor of the Lightning. So neither side are getting great opportunities up close against the goalie. And I said that earlier in the first period. Both teams are very good at shutting down the 10-foot by 10-foot square right in front of the crease. So you're seeing a lot more shots coming from the point, the top of the circles, outside the circles, hard angle baseline shots. Not a lot of opportunity either way. However, the Lightning have found a way to make that threatening against Bob. And they're real, I don't remember any Florida breakaways yet. I don't remember any 2-on-1s for Florida. However, there have been a couple going back the other way, and Bobrovsky's standing on his head and letting up only the one goal. And that was one actually, I'll say that might be one that he wants back, but it was a great shot. His own man was screening him. There was nothing he could do. Yeah, don't necessarily like that call in this game, but it's a call. It should be made. It is what it is. Florida's, again, to the man advantage. With 8:34 to go in the second. I want to see. Oh, never mind. Backhand and score. Florida, Marchand. Right off the face-off. Just going to check and boom. Very quick goal for the Florida Panthers. Coming from everybody's favorite Nat, Brad Marchand. And we got ourselves a game. Now, again, that penalty being called is a little rough. He got his arm up, so, it looked like he kind of forearmed him to the chin, so you can't do that. In this game, for a couple of things that have happened and they haven't called, a little bit of a rough call. But it doesn't matter. Like I said, we need to see if Florida is able to fix something. And right off the bat, they win the face-off. Marchand leading. Just walking right in and scoring the power play goal. Oh, and Greer's already right back to head hunting. Let's go. This third period's going to be wild, y'all. Greer, another steal on the boards, keeping it in the zone. Finally, Tampa gets it out. But coming back into neutral, Greer with another big hit. Is that an offsides? Or wait, what just happened? The hell just happened? Was it offsides? I'm very confused. They keep showing Greer. He absolutely just smashed dude, but I'd rather see the hit than stare at him on the side, on the bench. Let's get a replay, fellas. Shots are 14-9 Tampa as we face off on the center dot. Again, not sure what the call was. That should be a trip. Bennett just took down Gord. That's going uncalled. Radish to Moser in the Tampa zone. Back to Radish. Back to Moser. And finally up ahead to the red line. Turned over. Samoskevich feeds to Bennett. Bennett cutting up from the low dot, trying to force his way inside. Moser takes him to the back wall. That out to Gensel, who sends it down the ice. And a loafing Samoskevich almost gets beat to the puck by point. But now, here we go. 3-on-2 if they hurry. Florida trying to feed it to Jones, going across and across the crease. Vasilevsky able to get his stick on it. And Tampa sends it all the way back down. Bob settles it. 7 minutes to go in the second period. Forsling heading out of his own territory. Throws it up through neutral. Marchand charging in on the low wall. Leaves it for Lindell. Shot from the top of the low circle. Kicked away by Vasilevsky. And we are getting another penalty as now Brad Marchand is skating on the ice with no helmet. And it looks like the Tampa Bay goal scorer, Mr. Lilleberg, is headed to the box for a roughing penalty. That was interesting. Plays happening. Marchand goes off screen. All of a sudden, the ref's arm goes up, and he comes back on screen with no helmet. Yeah, Hey, it doesn't matter if it's incidental, man. If you know what, you go up high on a guy and you rip his helmet off, that's good. That should be that's a call. I can't go doing that. So right back on the power play are the Florida Panthers. Here comes the inevitable downfall of Tampa. Just going to be a matter of if their penalty kill can outlast their stupidity for dumbass penalties. Excuse me. Puck into the high corner. Reinhardt ends up with it in the trapezoid. Sent to the low boards. Lundell sends it back to the low corner. Reinhardt to Marchand. Behind the net up to the high circle. Back behind the net. Marchand. Off the low boards to Lundell. Across the blue line. Sent to the high wall. Verhaeghe. All the way to Lundell. Top of the low circle. He should have shot that, and a fluttering shot does come from the center of the blue line. Trying to clear it. Mosier can't get it past Lundell. Gord fighting with Marchand down low, and Tampa is able to come away with it and send it all the way down to the other side of the ice. It was that Charnak. A minute gone on the Florida power play. 5:45 to go in the second. Florida into the zone. Bennett off a stick has to chase it down. Puck sent to the high corner by Vasilevsky. Lusternin gets it to the high point. Ekblad back to Lusternin. Who is that? Rodriguez on the high baseline. He whiffs on the pass. Ekblad charges in, is able to keep it alive for the moment. Pass behind the net, cut up by Crozier, picked off by Samoskevich up to the high point. Rodriguez, top of the high circle. Ekblad on the blue line, shoots. Looking for a tip. It ends up on the back glass. Rodriguez sends it around the net. Lusternin trying to find it. Ends up back at Rodriguez on the low corner, and the puck ends up out of play as they try to swing it around to the high boards. If nothing else, this power play is a lot more active than the other ones have been. Like the first Tampa power play was a good power play. Active power play, let's call it. This one as well has been extremely active. 13 seconds to go on the man advantage. Shots are 14-11 Tampa. 5:03 to go in the second. Reinhardt takes it off the low boards, charging the net, goes across the crease, cannot connect with Marchand. Ekblad back to the high dot. Reinhardt shoots, and it goes again off the back glass. Forsling trying to dump it down deep, gets picked off. Marchand takes the clearing pass, gets a little bullied by Gergensen and Gord, and Tampa's able to clear back to full strength hockey. Forsling shoving Gergensen hard into the corner. Tampa comes away with it. A little bit of a miscommunication. Puck does come through. Florida's able to recover and get it back through neutral into the Tampa zone. Reinhardt off the low wall, feeding it across. The tip from Lundell could not get off his stick as he got buried into the backboards. Another attack, this one by Boquist, misses the net wide. Puck to the point. Jones across the blue line, trying to cycle down low. He's coming behind the back of the net. Stops up, sends it out high. Mikkola from the high dot. Misses the net, ends up hitting Jones down in the low corner. Bennett from out high. Whiffs on the shot, flutters to Vasilevsky, who makes another bad save off the rebound. And here comes the huddle as Vasilevsky covers up the puck. Good Lord. .348 to go in the second as we head to the commercial break. I want to peek in on Anaheim, Minnesota real quick. And then I want to take a peek in on Alabama, Oklahoma real quick. Still 0-0, 4:36 to go in the first. Shots are 7-6. Minnesota peeking into Oklahoma at Alabama. I think that's... Are they in Alabama? They are, right? All right, they're on a commercial break. So let's go back real quick to the Ducks in the Wild. Yeah, 4.25 to go in the first on this one. Minnesota resetting from their own zone. Looks like it's a power play or a 4-on-4 or something. Where the hell is Anaheim? Nope, 5-on-5 hockey. They were just everybody going for a change, giving them plenty of space. Minnesota can't break the blue line. Ducks go back the other way. A quick shot and a good save by the left blocker of the Minnesota goaltender. Potential 2-on-1 headed back the other way, and a good defensive play made by number 2 of the Ducks. I do not know these guys. Do not ask me a name. Minnesota trying to feed it down low. Another good save by the Ducks goaltender. Okay. Let's get back to the one we're here to see. Now, let me see if one of these feeds would be a little bit more ahead. Give me a second here. Damn, dude. Him and Kucherov facing it off with each. Oh, hang on. There we go. All right, 3, 4, 3. Okay, this is definitely the one that we need to be on here. Puck into the Florida zone. Mikula making a good play on Kucherov to take the puck away. Back into neutral. Mosier across his own blue line sets up Radish to pass it ahead, and it's picked off. However, point into the zone trying to feed Gensel. A follow-up by Mosier, and Bobrovsky makes the save on both attempts. Brick wall Bob. Just, again, he has his moments of shame, but brother, when he is on, that man is on. Under 3 minutes to go in the second period. Tampa taking their time, setting up from behind Vasilevsky. Oh, a great pass, a great block right away. Sabrango, it is Sabrango. He gets called off for the offsides, but after all that, dude puts the pass right into the skates of a man standing a foot in front of him. And Point with a great attempt. Sam Miscavige, good job on the defensive side. Gensel was just a little off target. And Mosier followed up, put it into the crest of Bob, but he was ready. Face off just outside of the Tampa zone. Puck sent all the way back into Florida territory. Petrie loses it momentarily, but Sabrango's able to get it up the high boards. Not out as the puck goes up and into the Tampa bench. Finley looks like he was getting ready to jump Rodriguez's ass. But line judge standing right there says, nope. 2.5 to go in the second. Shots are 15-13, Tampa. That dude's wearing that helmet so he can sleep. He's not watching the game. I am surprised Bobrovsky saw that puck all the way to his glove. Dude, Douglas for Tampa just wants to start shit, but he keeps starting shit with people that are a head shorter than him. Now, granted, he may be a 6'8" freak, so it may not be his fault, but every time he turns to talk shit, he's looking down at the top of the guy's head. Yep, 6'9". I called it. It's not his fault that everybody's a foot shorter than him. Fair enough, Douglas. Fair enough. Tampa ends up keeping it in at the top of the blue line or the top of the zone. Or swatting at it, trying to get out. It's going to slow down enough to not be icing. And Kunin just coming in hard. Puck ends up all the way back at Bobrovsky, though. Greer sets up Sabrango. Up the low boards and out. And Kuchu? What the hell's that dude's name? I'm thinking of the wrong team. That Schwent. Not even close. All right. Tampa's going to reset at their own blue line. Radish trying to get it up ahead. Stopped at the Florida blue line. Reset. Radish trying again. At neutral, Gord gets it to Gergensen, who gets it deep. Bjorkstrand up the low boards to Gord all the way across the ice, trying to set something up from the point. Shot comes in down low, rebounds out high. Or out high on the crease, go wide of the net. Reinhart gets it in, trying to get to Rodriguez. Verhage is there, but it makes it all the way to Vasilevsky, who puts it up in the air and makes the play hard. Feed out to Reinhart, goes wide, and now Florida controlling in the zone. Top of the high circle, high point, trying to work his way down. And Tampa is going to have a moment to reset as Gord sends it to Radish, who gets it to Gergensen, who gets it out. Bjorkstrand going one-on-one against Forsling. Gets pressed into the board and loses the puck. 45 seconds to go in the period. Reinhart redlining in. Bouncing on Vasilevsky. Settles it and tosses it around. As Boquist was charging in. Bennett working up the high boards in the Tampa zone. Tries to cut back. Boquist sends it around the net. Low boards. Ekblad down in the corner. Looking for somewhere to go. 25 seconds. Samoskevich to the point. Forsling with the shot. Bouncing puck. Gets to Vasilevsky. He knocks it to the low corner. Bennett recovers on the low boards. Fighting off Point. Point does a good job getting it out high, and eventually Lilleberg clears. 8 seconds. Forsling whiffs on it. Cannot set up as Point was charging in to take an opportunity. And we are at the end of the second period. Shots are 17-13, tied 1-1. What a game. It's a little bit less of a boxing match than I was expecting. I'm not going to lie. All right, let's see if Florida, Anaheim and Minnesota still have any time on the clock. I think they should be in intermission. Yep, they're at intermission. What do you think? Go back to Alabama, Oklahoma? I think that's until Georgia and Texas at 4:30. This is the game of the night, college football wise, I believe. Last I checked, Miami was absolutely kicking ass. So, yeah, 41-0, less than 3.5 to go in the game. So we are good on that side. You know what? I didn't really take much of a break, so I'm going to do that now while we're on intermission. Try and just take like 5 or 10 minutes, not too long, but hit the head, grab a drink, maybe just get a handful of popcorn or something, just settle the stomach. Enjoy the rain for a couple of minutes, and then we'll come back for the third period of the Tampa Bay Lightning in Sunrise against the Florida Panthers. What just happened to my hand? There we go. All right. See you guys in a couple minutes. All right, came back just in time to see that the Oklahoma Sooners have beaten the Alabama Crimson Tide. And I forgot to switch the screen. But cool. Miami wins. Alabama loses. I'd rather see Tampa lose. That would be nice. And hopefully Vegas pulls it off tonight against St. Louis. St. Louis just played yesterday. So that's one thing leaning in our favor is hopefully they're a little bit tired. The problem is they have a habit of scoring a whole bunch of goals lately. Take a quick peek. 5. They lost in a shootout. 6-5 against the Flyers last night. So they had an extended game. But like I said, scoring 5 goals. Now, Philly scoring 6 goals on them used to mean we have a chance, but we can't. Dude. If it was the 70s and we had a bag of Coke in our pocket, we couldn't pay to score. So the fact that people are scoring on St. Louis really doesn't mean dick over after all. The last game, they won 3-2 over the Flames. Where are they? Where are they? St. Louis. Oh, that was 4-3 to the Kraken in overtime. But still, they're scoring 3+, and we couldn't do that. 3-0 over the Sabres. They did lose 6-1 to the Capitals, though. It's going to be interesting. The Vegas St. Louis is going to be interesting. I really have no idea what to expect. I know what to expect out of Vegas because the only change they're making is they're putting Bowman on the first line with Eichel and Barbashev. And I can't remember who they're taking off the first line. I can't remember. I want to say Howden was there last game. So Howden will be on the second line. Bowman will be on the first line. The bottom 6 have stayed the same, and our defense is the same. So Lazan will get 2 dumbass penalties. Caden Korczak will be weak on the boards and give up the puck way too easy, as well as losing every battle under the net. Shea, I have a little bit more faith in just because he had a better game last game. His defense has been better, and then he actually wasn't a complete garbage can on offense. However, bro, our overtime is so far beyond garbage. It's embarrassing. Where's our game at? See how much time we got left in the intermission. But we are just about now. Let me do that. We're going to go ahead and wrong one. Unprivate the other game, the Golden Knights game. So once we hit 5 o'clock, we could just dive into that one. Public, done, save. All right, we are getting ready to come back for the third period here. Oh. See if I can get a little more comfortable here. Like this, I'm gonna tell you right now. This chair is way better than having a like a computer chair. It is way more of a pain in the ass. But dude, go like thrift shop a grandma chair. It is so much better. Especially if you're a biggin. Said I'm 6'3", 250. Most of them computer chairs, like they ain't quite cutting it. I'm losing all my internet. Hang on. Okay, lost a bunch of frames there real quick. Hopefully we are back. Ekblad just got called for a trip 9 seconds into the start of the third. Yeah, I mean, you can't. It's kind of hard to argue that when you knee hook them and, and rip them down. So, Tampa now onto the power play. I believe this is their third. No, this is their second. Florida has gone 1 for 3. Tampa is currently on their currently on their second, and then you had the 4-on-4 earlier. Battle behind Bobrovsky. Puck comes up to Radish at the high point, top of the high circle point. To Bjorkstrand, who tosses it down. Gensel misses it, and Florida is able to clear. Vasilevsky will set the puck for Radish. Setting up for the attack from the red line. Point goes off the boards to himself, tries to go back to the point, and it leaks past Bjorkstrand and into neutral. Radish leaving it back for Gensel, sets it up for Kucherov. Into the zone, hard on the low boards. Tries to feed it up front, and Mikolas Skate sends it to the backboards. Cleared all the way back down to Vasilevsky. 60 seconds gone in the power play. Rodriguez is bitching about something. I'd be curious to go back and see what that was. Kucherov again on the low boards, redlining in. All the way around to the high corner, just off to Jones, who goes off the boards and all the way back down. Penalty kill taken, full control of the situation. Turnover goes back the other way. Lustrinin trying to make a move. He gets a shot on, and Vasilevsky kicks it to the high corner. Good job, Lustrinin to just cause all kinds of problems. 5 seconds left on the power play. Stuck in their own zone. Tampa finally getting clear. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey. Back behind Bob, going out front. Rodriguez cuts off the pass. Mosier going in hard against, I can't tell who that is. Down low, Goncalves fighting his way from behind the net, trying to kick it back for an opportunity. And Rodriguez is able to go the other way across the red line. Leaves it for Verhaeghe. Tries to feed it back to Rodriguez. Gets shoved hard into the corner by Chernak. Florida able to keep it in. Out front to Sam Miskevich on Verhaeghe's stick. Shot on Vasilevsky. Save. Tampa headed back the other way. Bjorkstrand's pass ahead gets stopped by Forsling. Sam Miskevich into the zone. Across to the middle. Shoots. It's a stick. Goes off the back glass. Puck on the low boards in the Tampa zone. Boquist trying to work down behind the net. Puck up to the high board. Skating in. A shot is Ekblad. Saved by the pad of Vasilevsky to the low point from Forsling. A shot. And Vasilevsky swallows it up again. just about 3.5 gone in the third period, and the game is absolutely stepping up. Florida needs to do exactly what they're doing. Throw as many pucks to the net as they can. Shots for Tampa were 10-7 by period. Shots for Florida were 6-7. Face off in front of Vasilevsky, won by Tampa. Airborne all the way to the other side. Sambargo, what's his name again? Battle for it just inside the Florida blue line. Schwint, did we get an offsides? Is that what happened? That's not Schwint, is it? That might not make sense, but to me it does. Is that Cole Schwint? Why does he look so much bigger on the ice with Florida than he ever did on the ice with us? Hang on, I got to figure out this guy's name again. I've looked it up 9 times and I still can't fucking remember it. Sabrango. Tampa's come back the other way. A possible opportunity fell down, and a backhand score for Tampa. Is that Douglas? No, that's Finley. Finley for Tampa gets an opportunity the other way. Somebody, who is this that fell down? Sambargo. I was just looking up his name, and sure enough, dude, he's trying to skate backwards and turn over to catch the airborne clear, and it gets away from him. Finley comes in heavy on the forehand, goes backhand, and beats Bob wide to his right. Tampa takes the lead. 4:09 into the third period. Face off won by Tampa. Wait, is it 61? Is okay. Bobrovsky sets the puck up for Mikula, who goes high boards and out. Chernak back to recover from his own zone. Point breaking in, makes the pass across. Florida pokes it back out into the neutral zone. Chernak again sends it ahead and into the Florida zone. Bennett's there to recover. Up the high wall, back to Bennett with Mikula on his left. Chases it into the, shoved down by Chernak. Mikula goes down hard. And then Bennett gets it out to Lustrinanen. Stopped by Vasilevsky. Florida back in. Marchand with Lustrinanen. And Tampa does a good job to hurry back into position. Lundell getting forced hard into the boards. Lustrinanen trying to help out as Gordon Mosier trying to shut it down. Gordon takes a bump from Lustrinanen. Puck comes all the way out to Kucherov at the red line, who sends it in and all the way around. Buffering. All right, stoppage of play. Oh, Marchand just went wrapping around the back of somebody who was trying to start shit with Forsling. Looks like Mosier. Mosier was trying to go at Forsling, and Marchand just jumped up from behind and grabbed his neck, put his ass straight into the boards. Like I said, I hate the moments that I like Marchand, but every now and then it's like, bro, get it, dude. Just get it. Gotta be keeping an eye out on the clock. He did go down rather easily. If I was Forsling, I'd be pissed off too. That looked a little That looked a little bit questionable from my end, we'll say. Dude, Tarkov 1.0 came out today. Couldn't even update because I forgot my password and it made me re-sign in. And when I was like, hey, I forgot my password, it took me to a page that made me wait 25 minutes. And then instead of giving me an option to recover my password or change it, the only thing it was a page that said maintenance and there was nothing to click on. So shout out Tarkov. It looks like fun. Saw a couple people playing earlier. It looks like a good time. All right. Shots are 18, 17, 14, 21 to go in the third. Minute 57 on the Tampa man advantage. Tampa wins it. Puck to the high point. Radish throwing it to Kucherov and shoots and goes wide of the net, trying to beat Mikkola, who was standing in front of him. Puck down low into the high corner. Bjorkstrand goes up to Radish at the blue line. High wall. Bjorkstrand back to Radish. Low point, low wall. Kucherov back to Radish. Back to Kucherov at the low point. He'll go down the low boards, pass out to the middle. Point has to recover. And he can't make the puck move. Florida able to get it clear. That was just a good job of everybody. I believe Ekblad finally got the stick on it to send it back the other way. Point leading it back to the red line. Kucherov making some moves. He gets a shot past Petrie. Saved by Bobrovsky. Kucherov tries to go at Petrie a little bit, and Petrie didn't appreciate it. But Kucherov does what Kucherov does and skates backwards while he waits for the referee. All right, I'm losing frames again. Hang on. This might be a big one. There, it's back to 10. Shouldn't be up to 20. Could go back to 10. Yeah, we're experiencing some technical difficulties at the moment. I don't even know if any of this is getting through. $30,000 kilobytes a second, huh? 40. Okay, so for the moment, I have green bars again. We'll hope that it stays this way. 50 seconds left on the Tampa man advantage into the Florida zone. Down the high boards, Kucherov gets it up to point, across to Radish. Sorry, that was Bjorkstrand. Gensel down the low corner versus Mikkola after kicking Luster-Nienen's ass. Still going for the battle. Mikkola is doing a pretty good job holding Gensel's stick. I'm actually surprised the call didn't come out of that. That one was pretty obvious. Puck finally comes out. Lundell's able to send it all the way down. 15 seconds to go. On the man advantage, 12 and a half to go in the third period. Oh, you know what? Okay, no. That is good. All right, point from behind his own net, all the way up, pass turned over through neutral, and again, Reinhart goes back the other way. Good pass up ahead from the top dot. Rodriguez gets stopped, and the puck goes up and out of play. What is going on? The Wi-Fi is acting questionable at best. I apologize. Typically don't have this problem, but it is a very rainy day in Vegas, so that may be having a little connection interruption happening at times. But Florida stay aggressive. They were doing a lot better trying to work pucks to the net, and the shots are 19, 17. Yeah, that's so they have 4 this period. Again, that's a big shout out to both teams. This is a game where the number of shots makes sense because, like I was talking about earlier, call it a 10-foot box starting at the top of the crease, or you could define it wider as home plate. In home plate, both of these teams shut down. They collapse into the middle. They're a little bit better about not getting drawn, all 4 or 5 guys. I was thinking penalty kill, but all 5 guys to one side of the ice. Everything stops in the middle. So it makes sense. Again, a lot of the shots from both sides are coming from out high. They're coming from the top of the circles, outside the circles, weird baseline shots. Tampa's done a lot better getting up close to Bob. A couple breakaways, 2-on-1s going the other way. The breakaway that Douglas scored was nasty. So Florida's got to figure out how to get the pucks through to Vasilevsky. Otherwise, this game's done. Oh, Rodriguez just took something to the face. I don't know if it was an elbow or a stick, but he is immediately doubled over. I mean, he went to the ground hard. He's bleeding. He might have lost some teeth. He had a mouthpiece, and he still might have lost some teeth. He was gushing blood. Oh, yeah. I was wondering what happened. I thought it was an elbow from somebody, but Chernak just went right straight up into his mouth as his head's down. That is at least a 4. Yeah, that's a blatant 4-minute. Rodriguez was definitely bleeding. He went straight down the tunnel. Okay, well, all that stuff I just said about Florida, big opportunity right here. Like, they're going to review it, but there's no doubt. I mean, okay. We got some life in this one. I said, I when I was sitting here saying what I was saying about Florida needing to turn up the heat and get pucks to the net or they're in trouble, that does still stand. But right now, they need to score at least one, and they need to score the first one. They need to score at least one, and they need to do it fast. They need to have a full 2 minutes at 2-2. With the ice shift, with the confidence shift, the crowd in your favor, like they need to score in the first 30 seconds. Face off to the right of Vasilevsky. Lundell in to take it. Puck comes up to Jones on the low point. Top of the low circle. Verhaeghe down to Reinhart. Back to Verhaeghe across the blue line. Jones down to Martian on the high wall. Back to Jones on the blue line. Back to Verhaeghe. Top of the low circle towards the net. Glove save. Vasilevsky. 11:35 to go in the third. Shots are 19-18 in favor of Tampa. 16 seconds gone on the 4-minute double minor. Face off. Sent into the low corner. Lundell recovers it. Works his way up the high boards. Hits Jones on the blue line. Verhaeghe skating in. Shot hits a skate in front of him. Good job by Lilleberg. Loose puck in front. Verhaeghe tries to follow it up, and I think that was Lilleberg making a diving save across the front of Vasilevsky. Great defensive play for Tampa. Coming back across the ice the other way. Dumped into the Tampa zone. Verhaeghe gets beat to the puck by Gensel. Crozier fighting Verhaeghe. Gensel there to help, and they're able to get it around, and Tampa gets it out and clear. 60 seconds gone on the 4-minute double minor. All right, here comes Florida working out of their zone through neutral. The high board, Samoskevich sends it all the way around to Lusternin and across the blue line to the high point. Ekblad dumps it deep. Samoskevich can't get there. Lusternin sets it for Petrie. Back across. Ekblad towards the net. Can't make it. Goes down the low boards. Petrie is not able to stop the clear. Lusternin at the red line going right back in. Slowed down by Vasilevsky. Bennett gets there first. Bennett in the corner sends it to Samoskevich on the low wall. Trying to take it into the low corner. Goes back behind the net. And the first of the double minor is gone. Slow puck towards Petrie. Goes off a Moser's stick and on Vasilevsky, who covers it up. That's not a good sign for Florida. They really need to score on one of these or it's going to be hard to recover. And Verhaeghe had it right here. It comes right to him. And then Lilleberg putting his leg out and getting a fantastic stop for Tampa. Minute 57 on the two-man. 9:48 to go in the third. Tampa wins the face-off and clears. Marchand resetting from the red line. Chasing to the high wall. Gets in, dumps it deep. But Lilleberg will get there first and send it back, but it's kept in. Big shot by Reinhart. Big stop by Vasilevsky. The attack off the low dot is shut down. Jones behind Bobrovsky, working back up the other way. Florida passing across. Marchand to Verhaeghe. Coming down the low boards, trying to go back door. And a good defensive play by Moser to shut down the opportunity. Marchand right up front on Reinhart. Sneaky little tip gets stopped. And Tampa is going to recover. 65 seconds to go on the man advantage as Bob settles the puck. Last couple chances to shift the ice. Petrie leaves it for Bennett. Across the red line, they go high wall. Into the zone all the way up to Bennett, gets behind the net. Into the low corner, sent back around the high boards and all the way down. All right, so now, unless you really screw up, this is going to be the final serious attempt to enter in control for the Cats. Bennett to Lusternin and chasing down the low board. Florida is just not as fast as Tampa, plain and simple. A lot of foot races being deciding factors in puck control in this one. Battling for it. Both teams going hard. Dastos, or whatever his name is, just keeps getting his ass kicked by Ekblad. Puck finally comes out. Big shot from Petrie. Hits a stick out high above the dots. Bounces its way to Vasilevsky. And now we've got a brawl. Gord, Lusternin going at it. Everybody going at it. Someone just ripped off a Florida helmet. That should be a penalty, but it will not. Go. 1.3, go. I'm not going to lie. I don't know exactly what you mean by that, Kepper. 7:51 to go in the third. We should be coming back to a couple of people sitting in the box. Find out if it is mutual or not when we get back. As of right now, though, I expected a lot more out of Tampa, but Florida's definitely doing a good job of starting shit. $700? Oh, okay. So you got an over on something? Hey, word. Make that money. Once we wrap up with this game, I will be starting up a fresh stream for St. Louis at the Vegas Golden Knights. So if any of y'all are sticking around for some hockey, we got a couple more hours of it to come. Peeking in from time to time on the football. Of course, Miami Hurricanes kicking North Carolina State's ass, which they should. Alabama losing to Oklahoma. And we'll see Texas and Georgia tonight. and kind of go back and forth with all the hockey games as they get going a little bit. Tampa won you $700. Nice. Very nice. At least they're good for something. I've actually been, I mean, they're doing their typical bullshit, but at the same time, I'm actually impressed with them not like straight up starting brawls. It seems to be Florida that wants to fight more than Tampa. And again, I think that has to do with warning, considering what happened in preseason. But one sec here. They're coming back in just a minute. All right, Lusterinen and Ekblad are in the box for Florida. And they didn't show the Tampa box. All right, Lusterinen, 2-minute minor for roughing. Gord, 2-minute minor for roughing. And Ekblad, 2-minute minor, most likely for roughing. Oh, but there is another penalty. There it is. Boris Kachuk, whatever his name is, gets a minor as well. So you got 4 guys, 2 guys each headed to the box. With, what are we at, 7 minutes to go? Just under 8 minutes to go in the third. Florida down 2-1. I'm sure this is exactly what they want. Yeah, Kemper, congratulations, buddy. It's like I say with everybody that comes in here, man. Throwing a couple bucks on game from time to time is cool. A $700 swing is that's a swing. They actually just put Dustass, whatever his name is, into the box instead, number 51 for Tampa. I can never pronounce that name. We're waiting to get set, man. This has been, I don't know how this takes this long to figure out, like, who is being the asshole? You 4. Cool. Drop the puck. Tampa headed back the other way. Into the zone on a break goes wide of Bobrovsky. Puck sent from the low boards around. Mikla picks it up. Is that Rodriguez back? He is back. Oh, no, that's Reinhardt, 13. I thought that was a 17. I was about to be very impressed by Rodriguez. Lusterinen sends it across. Big shot by Jones. Big block by Vasilevsky. Battle happening in the low. On the low boards. What's up, Morg? How you doing, brother? Verhaeghe throwing it on net. Stopped. But there should be a high stick. We'll see if it's called. Bennett goes down, gets right back up, and Radish grabs him by the throat. This is what I expected all game. And now Mosier and Bennett trying to go at each other with the line judges between them. Just had my beer league game, got a hat trick in 153. Attaboy, more. You definitely deserve a cheer for that. Malamute, I've been good, buddy. How you been? How's your Saturday treating you, my friend? But no, good shit, Mark. Speaking of beer league, as we get, oh yeah, absolutely, man, absolutely. I was just about to say, as we get started for the Golden Knights game, I'm gonna pour myself a beer and have a couple tonight. It is a beautiful rainy day in Vegas, and I'm going to celebrate it the only way I know. Crying into my beer while the Knights lose. Yeah, drink cola, bro. Hell yeah, dude. See, absolutely. We're gonna chill for tonight. Dude, Mosher just dropped a shoulder on Bennett. Gonna rain here in the arena area tonight. Nice. Yeah, it's been raining all day. It's been awesome. Loved every second of it. Yeah, so it's an interference. Mosier should be in the box for interference on Bennett. It wasn't a particular, like, it was a nasty hit, but he didn't headhunt. It looked like, at least it looked like to me, he went shoulder to the sternum. So hit to the head, nah. Interference, absolutely. Watching Leafs Blackhawks, but I remember you said you do Tampa, Florida, so dropped in the stream. I appreciate that, Malamute. Appreciate you. Yeah, Florida and Tampa. This is the first game since the shit that happened in preseason, so I wasn't gonna miss it. But it looks like Tampa was warned because they've been a lot more careful than Florida on just full on going after people. But Tampa's up 7-10 to go in the third. This is about to be a brawl. It's already getting nasty. So this one's gonna get bad. So yeah, we're gonna get this one wrapped up. Got 7-10 left to go in the third, and then 5 o'clock the Golden Knights start. So hopefully these guys wrap up rather quick. Otherwise, I will have to. I don't have the ability to. What's the word I'm looking for? Like dump you into my next stream. So I'll have to start up a new stream at 5, but we will be here for the Vegas St. Louis game. Lundell with a good stick, sending the puck the other way. Reinhart. Wait, how did Tampa end up on a power play after Bennett got decked by Mosier? Okay. I'm very confused by what took place. I should have been watching. Here, hang on. Real quick before we dive in, I gotta understand. Oh, Point trying to break through. Good sticks by Mikkola. Point sends it back past everybody. Yeah, so Sam Bennett got a 2-minute minor for roughing. And that's all that came out of that. Bennett got hit. Blatant interference, a hard blindside hit that was an interference. And he reacts to it. And Bennett goes to the box. That's interesting. No power play in favor of Tampa. Conan going in ahead of everybody, dude. The Florida power or the Florida penalty kill has destroyed the Tampa power play all day. Greer trying to stop up Mosier, but he makes it into neutral, sets it back. Kucherov at the blue line, back ahead, and they're going to call Pelletier offsides. 14 seconds to go on the man advantage. Dude, Marchand lost his. If Marchand didn't lose his edge, there's no way Radish wouldn't have tripped him, and it would be back to 4-on-4. But trying to cut in on the goal, he loses the puck, loses his edge, loses the puck, loses the opportunity at a penalty, loses the opportunity at a shot. Rough, like 4 seconds of hockey going on right there because he was cutting in hard, head up, ready to score. Face off in neutral, goes back to the Florida zone. Jones from behind Bobrovsky goes all the way up the ice. And with 1 second, 0, we are back to full strength hockey. Tampa. Gergensen gets down into the corner, fought off by Mikkola. Goncalves almost gets a skate taken out. Gore leaves it for Goncalves, who sends it around to the high boards, back down below the net. Goncalves coming up the low wall to the point. Chernak loses it. And we've got a delayed offsides. Big contact, it looked like, between Bjorkstrand and Lustranainen, coming in just out of frame. 4.5 minutes to go in the third. Shots at 22-19, Florida. Verhaeghe trying to get a shot off. Can't get past the stick of the man in front of him who put him on his ass. Not sure who that was for Tampa, but he just bullied him. Tampa recovering in the Florida zone. Puck taken back by Petrie. To the high boards, back to the low wall. Bennett enters the zone. Loses the puck just across the blue line. Tampa sends it all the way down. And with 4 minutes on the clock, we have an icing. Whew. We got a lot going on, man. It's getting exciting. Let me stretch my back real quick before they drop. Perfect timing. Face off to the left of Vasilevsky, taken away by Tampa. I couldn't tell who that was. Florida resetting from their own zone. Be ready for Bobrovsky to be bailing out of the net anytime now. And on Boquist, trying to work down the low wall. Rodriguez, who is back to back pace for a long day streaming, dude. Hey, it makes for a fun day though. Like, hopefully the nights don't suck. That would make it a little rough, but man, I gotta admit, if a hard day for me is sitting here watching hockey with some people coming to hang out while I do the play-by-play, bro, give me that hard day any fucking day of the week. Or long day. Give me that long day. You didn't say hard day. You said long day. Dude, I will take that. Yeah, I'll take that long day every single time. So this is fun, man. I have a blast. Especially when Vegas plays well. I have a whole lot of fun. And tonight, I'm giving myself a couple of beers for the game. So, yeah, it is. You're right, but it's all good, man. Said, gotta watch Miami win, which at this point, every time they win, I don't care if they should or not. Thank God they did. So, gotta see Miami win. Gotta see Alabama lose. I would prefer to see Tampa lose, but it's looking like the Cats are going down. And then hopefully we get to see Vegas win. If that all happens, man, that's a fantastic Saturday. 12 hours working and winter has arrived. Yeah, gonna watch Leafs, but another 12 tomorrow. Hey, man, at least enjoy the games. Hopefully they play well and you can enjoy the games while you have the chance. It's that, dude. The hard day makes the world go around. But, yeah, winter's just barely getting here for us. We've got a storm. Like I said, it's been raining all day. But it's only getting into the 60s. So it's soft-ass winter out here. I ain't gonna lie, I miss the cold days in the snow every now and then. But when I hear working 12 hours a day and winter's here, I'm gonna admit I'm happy that I let you live that life. Like every now and then, like, man, I miss the snow, and then I'm in snow and it's like 4 degrees. It's like, bro, fuck this. I don't want nothing to do with this. And then a year or two goes by and I'm like, hey, the snow, man, we should go to the snow. Dude, Rodriguez for Florida came back without even a cover on. He got his lip patched up, and he didn't even wear a dome. I would have at least expected that. Okay, so Florida didn't provide towels, and they're telling everybody to wave your towels. So there's like 150 people in the entire arena waving towels. Why would you do that at a game that you're not giving them away? Empty net for Florida. 2:45 to go in the third. Puck around the low boards for Hagee, sending it behind the net. Bennett there. Tries to go back behind the net, but it gets pushed out. And now Reinhart has to recover back to Marchand. Right back into Verhaeghe. To the low point. Jones going to work it around behind the net to Lundell. Sets it for Bennett. Up to the top of the high circle. Shot. Goes wide. Puck to the front of the net. Vasilevsky fights it away. Marchand sends it on net. Hits a body. Puck comes over to Verhaeghe and Reinhart. Neither can get the shot on net. Trying to come up the low boards. Jones across the blue line. Top of the low circle. Verhaeghe hits Gord in the knees. comes back down around 2 minutes to go in the game to the point. Jones down the wall to Marchand. High corner, back to Marchand on the wall, back into the corner. Tries to go out front, swing and a miss by Reinhart. Verhaeghe to the blue line. Jones across to Marchand, who shoots. Hits Moser out front, puck into the high corner. Marchand recovers on the boards. Sends it to the high point. Jones back to Bennett, top of the high circle. He tries to throw it on net. It hits something out front and goes out of play. 94 seconds to go in the third with the Florida empty net. Had to do the conversion for Fahrenheit. Yeah, but it was 10 here, and we had just over 30 inches of snow since Monday. Damn. Yeah, it's like rough numbers. That's cold enough to be cold. The 30 inches of snow is a bit. I was in Flagstaff when they got like 7 feet, or it was either 5 feet in 7 days or 7 feet in 5 days. But like Walmart roof collapsed, Home Depot roof collapsed. One of the stores on the main drive of Milton, their whole front collapsed under the snow. That stuff gets wild, man. Whatever you're doing out there, brother, just make sure you're staying safe. And if you're inside, or if you're, if nothing else, getting to and from, man, stay warm, stay safe out there. Last Florida-Tampa overtime game was October 21st of 2022. Let's see if Florida can force another one. Minute 34. I got 15 minutes till the next game, till the Vegas game starts, and I'm hoping to sneak out. But we shall see. Face off to the left of Vasilevsky. Lundell on the dot against Gensel. Drop the puck, dickhead. I mean, ref. February here gets negative 50. Stupid. Yeah, that's ridiculous. Icing on Tampa. We'll go back to facing off in front of Vasilevsky. But yeah, negative 50 is nuts, brother. The worst I've been in is like, it got to like negative 19, negative 20, something like that. And fuck that. Like, that's all I got to say. There's no other response to that other than, yeah, shove it up your ass. Like, I'm not going outside. And if you do go outside, more power to you. You're the kind of man that makes the world go round, because fuck me, I would like that just ain't the vibe for me. I don't mind being cold. I don't mind being hot, but shit, if I'll be negative 50 cold. Face off to the right of Vasilevsky. Florida wins it. Shots. Kick save. Vasilevsky into the low corner. That angle always gets me. Marchand on the high baseline. Bennett trying to get it up the boards for Hagee. Able to send it back behind the net up to the high point. Lundell tries to get it back down low. There's a battle for it. Tampa recovers. They're going to try and send it down. They get it into neutral, but Florida takes it back. 60 seconds on the power play. Reinhart skates in, but he loses it. And Tampa misses. Can they get it? And they do. $700 wins. Capper. Attaboy, brother. Attaboy. Get that win, my man. All right. That will do it for Tampa, Florida. I was expecting a lot more volatility out of Tampa, but they were the ones that kept their heads a little bit better. Not great, but a little bit better than Florida to maintain control, maintain composure, and end up getting the extra goal. That breakaway, which it was a great job. And then number 6, Sandabargo or Sembargo or whatever his name is, man fell. He had his chance to be the hero and he fell. So rough going. A lot of opportunities for Florida. They did not jump on. Vasilevsky being out of position, wide open nets going wide, not connected in front of the crease. But shout out to Tampa for their strong sticks, strong presence in the box in front of the crease. Just yeah, good job defensively for Tampa. Little bit short for the Florida Panthers, but hey, Kappa, good shit on your win. Hey, Malamute,
Appreciate you dropping in, buddy. If you're going to be around, I'm going to start up another stream in about 10 minutes. So we're going to do Vegas and St. Louis. Morg, all you guys hanging out, if you are wanting to come in and hang out. Again, I wish I cannot do that yet where I actually just dump you into my next stream. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up and set it all up so that when we come back in 10 minutes, we're ready to go for Vegas and St. Louis, cold beer in our hand, and hopefully a win to come. So appreciate y'all hanging out. We will see you briefly. But Jesus, what's up, buddy? You're coming in as I'm ending this one. So keep an eye out for the Vegas St. Louis stream, buddy. We'll be in there. And like I said, we'll be in there at 5. So in about 10 minutes.